All right, so in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the initial slideshow for the final project, which basically I want you to make an animated comic. It should be 3 slides. There should be something interactive in each slide, and you can click to go through each one. Here's an example that I made. So I would do something like, has a little written part, so it's a cone. When you click on the cone, a car goes by, so everybody avoids him, right? And when I hover over, he does that, but click on again, the car goes by. When I click next, we get this little part here. And he says, why does everybody avoid me? When I click on him, you can't hear it because I got the audio off, but he goes, why does everybody avoid? Maybe he says that. I don't remember. But anyway, so you click on that, you click next, and then it goes, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's a baby in the middle of the road. When I go over to the baby, if I click on it, you can see he jumps in front and he's able to save the baby, and his propulsion was in fact a string. And then you just click and it goes back to the beginning. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make the setup for this. Now, I already have graphics made, basically an animate file that you can use. You can either download it from here, and I think this is also it. So just click on that, and you'll download. It'll be a zip file. Just double click on it, or extract it. If you're on a Mac, you can double click on it, and then open it up in Animate, and it will look like this. So here you can kind of see what the final product also looks like. This is what we have. That's another version of it, but this is what you're going to have when you open up that file. It's just going to be an empty thing, but you'll see I have each slide here. So we're just going to start up with these because I don't want you to have to draw each picture. I just did these really abstract ones because you're going to replace them with your own. But just so you see what's inside of each one, when I double click on this and I open up that slide, it's the same as like if I dragged it in here and then double clicked on it. You see I'm in the slide. Basically, what I have is the interactive portion, which is, if I click on this, you'll see it's this guy. And I have the background, which is this part here. Okay. Oh, I have it locked. That's why. I'm like, why is it not highlighting? And I have the background. So all of your slides should basically have that. Like an interactive thing, the thing you're going to click on, that's also going to have the animation, and a background that the things are in. Now, you can have more layers than that, but just those are kind of like the bare bones. And each one of these basically has the same thing. So let me turn that off. So this is like an abstract of that guy talking, right? And then this one is that's the baby, and he jumps there. Okay, so just so you get an idea, you can kind of see how they're just abstractly what those things are. All right, good. I'm going to click back here, and we're going to delete that. Okay, so what I want to do is I need to put all 3 of these slides inside of here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this slide, I'm going to drag it over here, and we're just going to put it and snap it right in the spot in the first part, right? So if I were to preview this, it will show this picture. Then I'm going to take the second slide, I'm going to drag that over here, and we'll just put that there. I'm going to middle mouse button or hold space bar. Okay. I'm going to grab the third slide, drag that out as well, put that on the edge of this one. Just make sure that they are all lined up just like that. So you have one after the other. And this one, apparently, I didn't. Oh, the picture? That's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on there, but let me see something. I don't know. But so you have one slide after the other. Each one is there. Okay. Yay. Okay. So one after the other. Oops, I moved that on accident. And then what we're going to do is this. So if you recall, when you look at the example here, really what it is, it's a picture. I click this, and it just slides to the next one. You click this, it slides to the next one. So that's what we're going to set up first, and then we'll do the rest of it. Okay, so I need these all to move together. So what we're going to do is I am going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to select all of them. So I have all 3 slides, and we're just going to convert them to a symbol. All right, so I'm just going to go modify, convert to symbol. All right, and we'll just call it all, oops, apparently I have caps lock on, all slides underscore MC. Okay, all slides MC, and then we'll hit OK. So now it's one object, and what I can do is animate this basically going to here, and then animate it going to here. Okay, so mind you, all we're going to see is what's inside of that. So first time we see this, second time we'll see this slide, third time we'll see that slide. So I'm just going to make an animation of it sliding across. So the easiest way to do this is just to, oh, you know what else we got to do? I did this wrong. Go inside of the all slides, double click, and we also need to put this one, the first one, on the end because we have to slide back to the first one. So I'm going to hold Alt and click and drag. That creates like a duplicate as you drag. You can also just Control C, Control V, or you could just drag this out again and then snap at the end. But I need to do that. So it actually should be the first one, second one, third one, first one again. Okay. So I'm going to click back to get out here again. All right. So it's already set to the first one. Then we need to go to the second one on 1 second, third one on the second, and then we'll just go back to the first one on the third. Okay. So we're just going to go to 3. I'm going to go here, and you can hit F5 if you're on a PC, or just right click and just go insert frame. I think I did insert keyframe. I meant insert frame. Dang it, I hit it again. Insert frame. There we go. So we just have one long span of it. Okay, the 3 seconds or 3 seconds, 1 frame. I'm just going to remove that frame. Okay, so I have 3 seconds. So what we're going to do is at 1 sec. Oh, let's go ahead and make this into a motion tween. So right click on it and go create motion tween. Go to 1 second, and I'm just going to take this. I'm going to hold shift so it stays straight. And we're just going to make it so that the second picture is in frame. And I'll just use the arrow keys like that. Okay. So now it goes from here to 1 second, looks like this. Then we're going to go to 2 seconds, and we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take this. I'm holding shift just so it stays straight. And we're just going to make it so we see the third picture. Okay. Good. And then the last one, we're going to go to the end, and we're just going to make it go to the fourth one, right? Which is just the first one again. So now, if we were to play it, you'll see it looks like this. It's just sliding across. It's going to move at one consistent pace. You just want to make sure at 2 seconds it is exactly there. 1 second's exactly there, like that. Now, if I were to preview this, you'll see it's just going to slide across, and it's going to look like it's looping because the last one is the same as the first one. That's why we had to put it on the end, so it can just continually slide. There's a little bit of a jitter you'll see on right when it gets to the end. Well, it's moving kind of fast, but hopefully you get the idea. All right. So now what I wanted to do is I've got the general layout done. I need to make a button that when I click on it, it will tell it to stop and to go. Okay. So let's just call this layer slides, so we know what it is. Let's make a new layer, and let's call this button. Okay. And we're going to put our button inside of this one. So you can make the button however you like. I hope that you make something more interesting. So use whatever your thing is. Like what try to keep it in the style of what you're making. I'm going to do super generic and just do a triangle. Okay, so I'm just going to go rectangle tool. It's going to draw across like this, and then I'll do let me see. I'm going to do the polystar tool, and I'm just going to make it 3 sides, so it'll make a triangle. Okay, like that. Going to bring it down here, and I will Q, and I'm just going to hold shift as I rotate it. I'll go this way. Good. Put that up here. All right. Oops. That's not super great. Let's try and get that centered here. Okay. Something like that. And then I'll just grab that middle line, delete it, and it looks like a button. Not a really great one, but you get the idea. Okay. So make a button that you want to be your next button. So I'm going to double click on this. And we're just going to go modify, convert to symbol. Badoink, and then we're just going to call this next _ BTN and change it from movie clip to button. Okay, good. Now this is what we're going to click in order to go next. Now inside of this, I'm going to double click on it. You'll have your over, down, and hit, right? So remember, like when you hover over it, that's what it's going to look like. Down is when you press on it, and hit you don't have to worry about because that's the hit box, and it'll just by default use the picture. If you for some reason want it to be different, you can do that, but you probably don't. Okay, so I would make adjustments to that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make this work with code. So in order to use this, we have to give it an instance name, and we're just gonna call this next. Okay, that'll be the name of this button. Just make sure you go to object with it selected and call it next. Good. I'm going to lock my slides because we don't need to do anything more with those. With this selected, I'm going to go to Window, Actions, or you can hit F9. All right, and let me just make this. I don't think I need this bit as much. Yeah, just go like that. Okay, move over here. Okay, so I got it selected here, and I got my actions here. I'm just going to go to the code snippet button. And actually, before I even do that, so make sure that you are on the first frame. Okay, so actually even just click on that first frame here. We're going to go to HTML5 canvas because that's what we're making. We're going to do time navigation, and we're going to say stop at this frame. So just double click on that, and that will do this .stop. Okay, so what that's going to do is if you look, it added another layer called actions. See the little A. and it added this dot stop. So now if I go to preview this, I just hit Control Enter, you'll see nothing happened. If I hover over this, you can see it's a button, but nothing else is happening, and the button doesn't do anything. But it doesn't play now, okay? That's the main idea. All right, so we got this dot stop. Now what I want is for this button that when I click on it, it says play. So with that button selected, open up your code snippets, and you want to do this to click to go to frame and play. Make sure we're still on frame 1. Yeah, okay. Click to go to frame and play. All right, I'm going to get rid of the extra comments here. So it says this dot next button, blah, 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 blah. We don't need to change any of that. Instead of this go to and play, which is currently frame 5, we just want to make this dot play with nothing inside, okay? Because what that'll do is that'll mean it'll always it's just play. So now if I hit Control Enter, you'll see it looks like this. If I hit play, it's going to play through the whole thing, and then it will end on the last one. But if I click, it'll play, right? It's kind of like the animation player that we made before. All right. Now what we're going to do is this. I need to make it stop at each one of these frames. So I'm going to go to frame, I'm going to go to 1 second, okay? And we're just going to do, on the code snippets, stop at this frame. Good. And then we're going to go to 2 seconds. And again, we're going to click on stop at this frame. And I just like to get rid of this extra stuff here. And then we don't need to do 3 seconds because that's literally just going to go right back to, it's going to loop and go back to here, and the first frame has stopped at this frame, okay? What I want you to notice is, I'm going to pull this over a little bit, is that on frame 1, we have this dot stop. On frame 24, there is this dot stop. And on frame 48, it's this dot stop. On frame 1, we also have this dot play, and this will run the entire time of it. But the other ones are later. So we'll just go ahead and do Control Enter, and now you'll see it looks like this. I click, it plays. Click, it plays. Click, it plays. All right. So now we basically have it set up that when you click on this button, it will show each frame of my slideshow. Pretty sweet. Okay. I'm going to call that good because we got kind of a setup here. And then we'll work on the next little bit.